Okay, this should be a good place to get a satellite connection. Is that a device? I'm teleporting us out of here, dude. I'm not wasting my life just to get Arturo's divine whatchamadoodle for whatever. I'm not doing this. So, give me that. Oh, dude, no, 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 no!
What? Where the heck are we now? You idiot! You took us somewhere else. Give me that! Screwing up everything. Like, dang it. Okay, fix this stupid thing. Oh, because I had to new and find our terrorist define intervention or whatever that stupid thing is called. And you were just after a dog? Really? I swear. Oh, these two.
Through the 2000s, we had a lot of different fighting games. Some of those fighting games were really good, some of them were terrible. And then there were also the classic ones. You had Tekken, you had Street Fighter, and then of course you had Dead or Alive, but then you had Mortal Kombat. But then there was also the classic Nintendo fighting game, Super Smash Bros. We already had 2 in the series, and then we had a new one coming out. I remember seeing this trailer back in the day, even this Game Informer magazine from back in 2006, promoting the game and seeing Solid Snake being announced in here. Like, whoa, what? I was young then, but I knew who Solid Snake was, and the fact that he was teaming up with Pikachu, Mario, Link, it's like, what? Back around 2006, mid to late 2006, up until 2007, mostly 2007, was a nostalgic year for me because I was getting into so much stuff at the time. I had recently was in love with Kolyoko, but fell out of it after I got into Inuyasha due to one specific episode. Then there was the wait for Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And by the time I got it, what do I think of Brawl even now? I got it the same year it came out, 2008. And I do have a lot of nostalgic memories of it, but does it hold up today? Well, that's why you're here. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Some people liked it, some people did not like it just because of the backwards from Melee. Well, let's find out. Now, in the past 2 Smash games, there was never really any story mode. It's mostly just player 1. However, this does actually include a story mode. Or I guess you could say darkness comes, and most of the Nintendo heroes, along with third-party characters, must join forces and fight against this darkness. This mode is Subspace Emissary. You will fight against the villains, and then the biggest threat of all. To be honest, I really did enjoy the story mode in the game, because it showed the characters, all these Nintendo characters, including third-party characters, interacting with each other, which was pretty cool. However, there's not really a lot of talking, except maybe one line from Solid Snake. Other than that, well, maybe there was more, I'm not sure, but Snake is the only one that really says a line. But yeah, overall, the story mode's fun. All the level areas you go through, seeing the characters do their thing. And of course, cutscenes. And on top of that, Brawl delivers some great music, along with past music from the other Smash games. But it does bring new characters from the Nintendo world, like Lucas, Diddy Kong, Wolf, Toon Link, King DDDDDDDDDD, and many more, including Sonic the Hedgehog and Solid Snake, which was awesome that these third-party characters made it into the fray. However, there are some characters cut from Melee, sadly. Now this is when the gameplay kind of changed a little bit. Now don't get me wrong, the gameplay is the same as Melee's gameplay. However, they trimmed down the fast speediness of Melee, and it felt a little bit slower. But it's still your typical Smash game. You still get items in the game to fight against your enemies. Heck, you now got these assist trophies to help you in battle with different characters just popping up from either Nintendo Worlds or even a third party. There's also different obstacles to watch out for, or movable stages, and some Easter eggs too. Especially stuff in the background, it's pretty cool. Though Melee stages actually do come back for some of them, like the Temple, Mario World, and a few others here and there. Not as much though. The story mode does deliver in some new gameplay mechanics, but nothing major. You still travel around and fight on specific stages. However, it's almost like adventure mode for Melee, where you fight against specific enemies. But the gameplay is just as fun as other previous Smash games. Compared to Melee though, it is slower. Or the slower version of Melee, I would say. But I think one issue people had in this game is the slipping. When you're running around, you're slipping sometimes, which probably was not necessary. Now, of course, the gameplay mechanics, I didn't really notice much difference except for the fact that it's slower than Melee. Though you do have the option to either play on a Wii remote or the classic GameCube remote, which was definitely how I played this game. And I still think it's the best way to play Smash Brothers. And like Melee, when it came to the camera, where you had to have like some other person taking the photo and you had to use a card, while this does have that, you could just take it during the fight or whenever you're playing with friends, take photos and save it in your little SD card, which is cool. Another cool thing is that it could also save videos as well, which is also cool, of your fights, though it has to be a certain amount of time. If it goes past a certain amount of time, then you can't really save it, unfortunately. And like the camera in Melee, you can move the camera around, but that's only on replay if you're watching the replay. So unfortunately, if you wanted to do like a Smash Tasm sort of thing, well, you're not going to find it here. And I do remember the days of playing this game online a year after I got it, and that was also pretty fun. But boy, the lag was terrible. Not like the lag. And of course, the menu is going to offer you a lot of value here, especially for replay. There's a mini game where you can collect coins or trophies. There's also a lot of trophies here, just like in Melee, to collect. And even stickers too, it's pretty cool. There is also classic mode as well. That also comes back, which is also a nice addition that it's there, just like in Melee and just like in the prequel. But not just that, there's also some other mini games in here too. There's just a lot to do in Brawl. And of course, there's also a place where you can watch clips, like from the story mode or the trailer. Actually, the one thing that this game does offer is to allow you to pick a specific song on a stage. And I think that's pretty cool. Pick your best music and let it play on your stage. And of course, this is where it will originate for the next 2 games in the future. And the multiplayer, of course, is just as fun. I had a lot of fun playing this game, but also I had a lot of bad OCD moments with this game. Those were the days. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff here for you to come back and play again. While it does show its age in some aspects, coming back to it after jumping away from the 4th game, I still felt like this was really fun. It's like all the other games now, from the 4th to the last, copied this sort of style. They just improved on it. Now, I do want to mention my personal opinion about Brawl. While a lot of people liked Melee, which, don't get me wrong, that is a good game, Brawl has always been my favorite. I always remember good things about it. I cherish a lot of the memories of playing this game. It had Sonic the Hedgehog, it had Solid Snake, and the one thing I forgot to mention, it also has a stage creator. This is something new to the series at the time, and then of course they would bring it back later. But yeah, I loved this game. This was the game that I played a lot of. It was fun. I had more fun with this than Melee, even though, you know, I had not played Melee long enough. But still, like, this was enjoyable. I loved this game. Brawl is still my favorite to this day. It's my second favorite. I liked that it started to bring third-party characters. However, it does have a different look to it compared to other Smash games. It's a little darker. I guess to blend in more with Solid Snake's character. But yeah, this game was is my favorite Wii game of all time. One of my favorites. I have a lot of fond memories with this game. Well, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I do think it's better than Melee, even though it does kind of go back a little bit with, like, I guess, how it felt gameplay-wise. A little slow, not as fast, but I still had fun with this game. The music, top-notch. I like the music in Brawl. Melee's is good. This is also just as good. And it is my childhood favorite. Like, this was like the last year of my childhood before I hit 13. So I hold it deep in my heart as my favorite, one of my favorites in the series. Now, if you see my top 5 episode of where the Smash games rank, of course there'd be no surprise where it would rank and which ranks number 1, but still it is something worth collecting if you like the Smash series, just to see where stuff came from, you know? Is it more replayable like Melee? They're both replayable. I just think that you probably need somebody to play with to make it entertaining. So I would rate it one of my favorites in the series. Would collect it. That's all I have to say. Hands down, one of my favorites. Some people may criticize me for that just because I like Brawl more than Melee. But that's just how I feel. I had more fun with this game. I was more aware of it at the time. So that's probably why I have more fondness of it. I'm not saying Melee's bad or anything. I prefer Brawl. Melee is still a solid game, it's just Brawl had a lot of other cool stuff in it. So that's what made it nice. And I will never forget the memories with Brawl. Well, I hope you enjoyed this Pop Culture Talk episode. If you like what you saw here, subscribe, follow me wherever you're watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Anyways, peace.
Here I come! Hurry up, they're gonna attack us! Let's go to the Let's do the dog! Let's do the dog!